Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Ambrose Blowfield here from the Sales Mastery Company, and it's my privilege today to talk about one of those most disputed subjects in the world of sales and sales strategy these days, which is how does sales fit with marketing, and more specifically, how does sales fit with inbound marketing? So hopefully, if you've interacted with us on LinkedIn, you've received a copy of this workbook itself, How Does Sales Fit with Inbound Marketing? If not, as always, send us an email to admin@salesmasterycompany.com. And this is about making sure that we understand clearly how these two should be working together. Again, I'm going to get straight into today's topic. There's a welcome page on the next page of that to give you a bit of brief background to myself and obviously our team over the last 18 to 20 years. But the purpose of today's session is to understand the fact that inbound marketing, digital marketing, despite what organizations such as HubSpot may well have told you over the last 5 years, this is not the final nail in the coffin of salespeople. In fact, my wife and I, having started this business nearly 2 decades ago, have taught in the early days equally in sales and marketing. And then in 2017, we had to jump one way or the other to be the specialists in marketing or to be specialists in sales because customers didn't want to take us seriously in both areas. And we chose sales without the fear of this is the end of our business because marketing is going to replace it. Believe me, in 2017, we understood where marketing was headed. And we didn't have artificial intelligence to plug into the tail end of marketing. But sales people still add massive value, which is hopefully why you are a salesperson watching this, or as a sales manager, or indeed a business owner watching it. Highly skilled salespeople who embrace marketing as part of what they do, as part of what the business do, are the cream that's going to rise to the top, so to speak, both in terms of the market, but also within the business themselves. So the key thing I want to understand is we talk about sales and marketing in the business, even though the correct terminology should be marketing, then sales. The reality here today is about understanding as a salesperson's perspective, as a sales manager's perspective, how can we better align ourselves and leverage from marketing? So when we think about the overall benefits of inbound marketing, put very simply, inbound marketing is either doing search engine marketing, which is say Google ads, or search engine optimization, or a content plan in terms of a content campaign to write blogs and articles that draws new leads, draws new prospective customers into our website, into our social media, into our basket, so to speak. And then ideally, if we collect their name and email address, we might do a lead nurture campaign or a prospective client nurture campaign to educate them and to develop the relationship and to add value to the relationship. So when we say inbound, that's what we're talking about in a traditional sense and a simplistic form. Now, obviously, the replacement for that is us to be targeted as a sales team and do telemarketing or telesales or prospecting calls in order to generate opportunities. Traditionally, that is cold calling. Now, when it comes to going past gatekeepers to large corporates or big international companies, they have got tougher and tougher and tougher to work with. So, of course, LinkedIn became another opportunity to reach out to people proactively, to connect with them outside of the formal structures of their corporate company. And certain people have been very successful that we've coached around the world at using LinkedIn as a way to form relationships and completely avoiding the corporate structure. But ultimately, if inbound marketing works, you, the sales team, should have more opportunities to sell to the right sort of clients. Remembering that part is an important definition. So this isn't just about general lead definition in the old-fashioned way 30, 40 years ago when we said in a military analogy, marketing went out, educated and advertised the market to soften up the ground. Then the infantry, the sales team went out and more of a sniper gun type approach went and secured the prize, so to speak. This is about just not every lead. This is about generating and nurturing the right leads, the right prospective customers. So the new missions of sales and marketing have gone beyond the basic ones of that military analogy into attracting inbound opportunities and inbound customers and trying to educate them and qualify them so that we should be passing on better leads and better opportunities and better prospective clients to our sales teams because we've added value to the relationship, possibly educated the client or qualified the client through that lead nurture campaign, for example, or through the content that we pushed out there. The sales mission nowadays is, of course, continuing to engage with the prospect and answer questions about them, do discovery calls or discovery meetings with them to help them move through the buying process. And the language is subtly changed here. The end result is a sale, but the end result should also be a satisfied customer who becomes a net promoter long term, because we're all adding value. Sales and marketing are all adding value to them. We're helping them become a customer. So it's more the approach of we're working with them rather than we're going at them. Now, a subtlety change of language, but it means everything. Inbound selling, if we're thinking about it from a sales perspective, which is where 99% of our customers are focused, we're talking about prospects understandably are living in a world. A lot of research says this, and a lot of HubSpot education says this around the world, where customers on average are going 65% of the way through their buying cycle in their mind or in their heart before they even talk to a salesperson. Now, depending on the sector, it will or won't be that particular number. That's said to be the global average, but remember, it was US-based research that might not apply to your local market or your local sector. But the thing I've got to be clear about is prospects do have more power, because knowledge is power, and prospects have more knowledge. They can access industry forums, they can get feedback from others, they can see on your website who you've got testimonials from and call them as referees to evaluate you long before they engage with you as a salesperson. So again, that doesn't make us redundant. It means we've got to add value in other ways, or at the later stages of somebody's consideration phase, when we go back to the consideration phase and the awareness phase in the old marketing speak. A salesperson, as I said, should be guiding or working with a client to make sure that not only do they get a solution that they want, but they get such a good solution, because we're meant to be adding value as salespeople, that they want to become a net promoter. Every customer you already sell to and every prospective customer you bring on, you need to look at them for the true value that they are, which is not just the simple paying customer, but somebody who could influence 20 or 30 other paying customers. We want to delight people, not simply serve people. It's beyond that reactionary, passive, customer service driven sales function now into more the proactive, consultative selling approach. That's the new way of thinking. It's the way we should always have been thinking, in my opinion. Now, that requires greater skills, greater ability to stand your ground, ask challenging questions. You know, too often I am asked by sales managers, business owners, and they say to me one of two things where they need to improve their sales team. Number one, I wish we asked tougher questions in discovery meetings with our customers. Number two, I wish we asked better questions to qualify the customers. Quite often in sales, where we've got these happy ears, or we don't want to challenge the customer. And I'm sorry to say that if you operate sales or you're running a sales team right now, you've got to be prepared to be bolder with your questioning. That doesn't mean get aggressive. It does not mean become anything other than assertive, but that is your job now. I believe it should have always been our job, but it's certainly your job now as a norm. So now let's think about how us as a sales team could also use and leverage from inbound marketing. Number one, salespeople, week in, week out, talk to target customers, because we know who our best customers are right now. And guess what? The sort of prospects we're trying to bring in probably are aligned in terms of persona and in terms of profile to who we've already got as our best customers. So don't let the marketers decide who your prospective customers are, buyer personas are, where you as a sales team already deal with them day to day. So you need to help work with the marketing team around that, and then possibly talk to them about what content those customers are going to want to hear. Guess how we answer that question? They're the questions your customers already ask you, or prospective customers ask you on those inbound calls or those outbound discovery meetings. Likewise, having a conversation where sales and marketing map somebody's online, offline journey as somebody comes into our basket and to become a customer. Which step will marketing take the lead on? Which step will sales take the lead on? Now, that's on the inbound. But remembering, you probably need to have a conversation from a proactive account management conversation as well. But that's not today's topic. Number three, sharing industry updates. You guys are on the front line. You're talking to people all the time. You're out there in the field. You're hearing about competitor product innovations, competitor research, competitor articles, as well as you're seeing things at trade shows and seeing things at events and hearing things and sitting in someone's waiting room or reception area. So industry knowledge is something that's really at the fingertips of salespeople. Often it's at a delayed factor before it hits your marketing team. They wait until it's published in a quarterly newsletter or magazine, for example. So salespeople have got great industry up-to-date knowledge that should be shared. Number four, When somebody buys a product or service or solution from your business, typically something we educate people in our persuasive selling process, they've got to tick off 3 boxes to be satisfied enough to become a new customer for you. Number 1, they have to believe that your company or organization is trustworthy. So the more your company is projecting thought leadership, the more trustworthy the company becomes, the more believable the company becomes. Number 2, they have to believe that whatever solution you're pitching to them, whether it's a product, a service, or a combination of those 2 things, they have to believe that the solution is right for them. That typically is the job of the salesperson, to do that. But the third thing that's worth thinking about is they have to believe the salesperson. If they don't trust you as a salesperson, they're probably not going to trust what your message is, what your pitch is, or even what your product is. Ultimately, the more you, through working with marketing and learning from them, such as sharing good articles or thoughts or comments in LinkedIn as a base level, the more you do that, the more you position yourself as a trusted thought leader, connected to a company that's considered to be trusted and thought leader. Therefore, all 3 of those boxes of this is a company I want to be served by, this is a product or solution I'm going to trust, this is a person I'm going to trust. If someone goes tick, tick, tick to those 3, selling becomes so much easier. So hence for me, an opportunity for today is to sit down with your marketing team, talk to them about what they're trying to do to bring inbound, talk to them about who you're trying to bring to you and ways that you can both work together to write articles, to create content and serve them in a way that the company gets trusted and you individually get trusted. Don't be afraid, of course, for you to share and publish things that your colleagues do as well. This hasn't got to be completely unique content to you as an individual salesperson. But ultimately, the more you do this work up front, the easier the conversion rate, and more importantly, the quicker the sales conversion happens. So in summary for today's topic, because we try to keep these teaching sessions short and sharp and to the point, inbound marketing and inbound sales have evolved subtly over time. Ultimately, both can do so much more. In a context where customers and prospective customers have more access to more knowledge, this is where we need to be tip-top, operating at our best possible level. The better we do this and work as a sales team with marketing inbound, the more we don't have to do cold calling. Now, if you love cold calling, go do that anyway. Targeted prospecting still works in many sectors that we coach and train people in around the world because it's very, very targeted. But it often takes a lot more discipline, a lot more effort, and a lot more skills, certainly to overcome the fear of the reluctance or the fear of rejection. But a well-aligned team can not only compete well within the organization you work for, but competitively in the marketplace. So sales and marketing, I believe, should always have been working together. We've been beating that drum for at least 20 years, if not longer. And it's something I want to encourage you to embrace from today. Now, today's topic is a lot of the things that we share on LinkedIn and YouTube comes from our Sales Mastery Program and our Sales Mastery Academy, which focuses on those 4 growth areas every business has got to master if they're trying to maximize their B2B selling opportunities and ultimately their profits. We've all got to be good at generating and winning new customers. We've all got to be good at proactive account management. We've all got to be good at maximizing our meeting mastery in order to close at the maximum possible profit margins and with the minimal buyer remorse. And ultimately, we've got to be able to scale our inbound process and qualifying process, as well as scaling our systems and our customer service and our sales team itself. So that's what we cover in our Sales Academy. If you do want to book in for a free one-on-one strategy session, make sure that your business owner or sales manager attends. You just have to click on the link inside of the workbook itself, or as always, send us an email to salesmasterycompany.com and say, I'd love to book in for a free strategy session by Zoom. But let's have a chat of where your business is right now. We're here to help you make more money and hopefully do so with way more confidence and structure and way more predictability for the year ahead. As always, I'm Ambrose Blofield. We're the salesmasterycompany.com. Do send us a message to give us some feedback on today's session and likewise to tell us some wins you've had because of it. And if you want to talk further about extra help we can give you, also reach out to us for that. Take care and be sure to take action. Hello there, Ambrose here again to say thank you for watching this video. As always, I want to implore you to take action and to share the lessons you've learned. Meanwhile, something you could do to help us in our mission to help countless and thousands of small to medium family businesses the world over to be more prosperous, be more confident, and have a greater impact in the causes they support. And that is, of course, comment, like, and subscribe to this YouTube channel and to all of our other videos. And as always, be generous and share this with others. Take action today.